So, good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and salam namaste to all of you beautiful people of the internet. Oh my god. Okay, so my name is Ren Xx and welcome back to my channel, and here is the tea for today. I'm about to do something that I've actually never done before on this channel, but I actually think it could become a regular thing. I am about to review my first movie. Not my first movie I ever watched, but a review of my first movie. But you get it. Okay, so the movie I've decided to review is Aladdin, right? I have been waiting to watch this movie for the longest time ever. Don't mind that. I think my brother and my dad's watching a Leon Schuster movie, which explains the laughing. Hey, that could be my next movie. You see how this whole thing's going? Movie. Okay, so anyway, as I said, I've decided to review the movie Aladdin. Guys, I made a list and everything. Like, I have come prepared, okay? So, list of pros and cons, right? This is the pro list. The con list is about yay big, because that movie was incredible. Like, I don't even have words. It was so amazing. It was so worth the wait, and watching these little, tidbits and trailers and stuff, it does not do justice to the actual full-length movie. Okay, so obviously Aladdin is part of most people's childhood, right? And when news broke out that they were going to be making a remake of it, a live action remake of it, people were pretty worried, right? Because they were like, with the whole thing of whitewashing movies, etc., would they do justice to the characters? And Guy Ritchie did justice and beyond. First of all, the casting, right? Let's just talk about that. Mina Masood, I can't picture anybody else as Aladdin. That's number one, right? I mean, he's Egyptian, so he pretty much had that in the bag already, okay? That's number one. Number two, Naomi Scott. Now, when I was talking about whitewashing, I was actually referring to her because a lot of people were upset about the fact that she was cast as Jasmine, because everybody was like, oh, she's too white for the role, etc. And people, if you did your homework, you would realize she's half Indian and half white. Her mom is of Indian descent and her dad is white, so she's half and half, so she rocks the Indian heritage, right? And I am the biggest Naomi Scott fan ever. Like, watching her from Lemonade Mouth, because I'm a huge Disney Channel fan, like everybody knows that, but watching her in Lemonade Mouth and rocking She's So Gone, to watching her in Aladdin and killing Speechless, like, that is like my new anthem. I have been listening to Speechless non-stop, so much so that my cousin and my brother, like, when I changed the song just for like one time, they were like, really? You changed the song? You have a new song? Because that's how many times I had that song on repeat. But honestly, it's been so amazing watching her, transformation from Lemonade Mouth through to Power Rangers and now Aladdin. She is just... Naomi Scott, oh my god, you are just mind-blowing. It's sort of like, how do I put this? It's actually one of the other points I have here. The whole point of representation, right? Being a brown girl, right? Being an Indian girl. Yes, we've got Bollywood to look up to and see all of these powerful women taking strides in the movie industry, right? And it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I am a Bollywood. My heart beats Bollywood, right? It really does. But then in Hollywood, to now have that representation up there, it is amazing. I mean, I'm not a professional singer. I mean, I sing on the sidelines, and I would love to get into acting one day. Like, honestly, that is my dream. It's my goal. And initially you would think, but really, can someone of my color, can someone of my background do it? And then you have someone like Naomi go up and prove to the world that yes, it is possible. It was just such a breath of fresh air, and she's just amazing. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Next one. Oh yes, right, Will Smith. We need to talk about him, right? A lot of people were very iffy when he was cast as Genie, because everybody was like, can he do justice to Robin Williams? And oh my god, I know I've said that so many times, But like with Mina Masood, I cannot picture anybody else taking on the role of Genie. He did such justice to the role. I mean, he had huge shoes to fill, huge, massive shoes, but he was just absolutely mind-blowing as Genie. Okay, so I did talk about Bollywood earlier on, right? And from watching the movie, and as I said, having such a vast Bollywood background of, you know, watching these movies from the time I was a little girl, I can definitely say that Aladdin, from my perspective, has taken a lot of inspiration from Bollywood. And there was an interview that I watched with Naomi Scott where she did say that there were some instances where they did look to Bollywood for inspiration, and you can definitely notice it in the outfits that were chosen, especially hers, because she's got multiple outfits throughout the movie. She's got an orange one, she's got a purple one, and of course the trademark Jasmine turquoise outfit as well. But the outfits were definitely, you could definitely see the you could definitely see the inspiration that it drew from Bollywood. The outfits, as I said, the color, it was just so vibrant. Have the music, of course, music and dancing. There's a lot of dancing in this movie, which I personally can't dance, but I loved the way they rocked the dancing, right? So yeah, the color, the outfits, the music, the dancing, all definitely a nod to Bollywood there, which I thought was perfect, because I mean, you've got the Indian heritage coming through once again, representation. Hats off to you there. Next thing I want to talk about, oh yes, Jasmine having a voice, right? There was another interview that I watched of Naomi Scott where she said that, you know what, she was a driving force behind going to the director and saying, you know what, I really want Jasmine to have a voice in this movie. I want her to be more than just the princess who has to be told what to do. I want her to be strong and independent, and that is where the modern twist comes into this movie. Because you notice that I actually went and watched the animation last night actually, and in the animation you notice that yes, Jasmine doesn't want her dad to pick the person that she's going to marry, because in animation she wants to marry for love, whereas in the live action remake she actually just wants to be Sultan herself. She's of this thing where, you know, I don't need to have a prince next to me to be able to run my country. I can serve my people on my own. So I love the fact that in this movie, Jasmine is all about, yes, Aladdin's there and that's cool, because I mean, who doesn't like a cute guy, especially if you meet him Masood? But the point is that she also says that, no, I can run this country on my own. You know, I can lead my people, and I love that. I love that she has a voice and that she's all like girl powers. So hats up to you, Jazz. Like, honestly, that was amazing. And there was another interview. I watched a lot of interviews before going and watching this movie, as you can see. But there was another interview that I watched where Naomi Scott actually said that she took a lot of inspiration on how to portray Jasmine by looking up to the Queen of Jordan. Now, Jordan is where they actually shot a lot of the scenes, or most of the scenes, I think, for Aladdin. So yeah, so that was pretty cool that she took, you know, inspiration from a real life queen and watched how she, you know, carried herself out and transitioned that into how she played Jasmine. So that was really, really cool. The next thing that I wanted to say, oh yes, okay, so as I said, I watched a lot of interviews, and there was this one where Will Smith actually says that he drew his inspiration for his genie from playing Fresh Prince. So that was absolutely awesome, because when you watch Aladdin, you can actually see the Fresh Prince sort of vibes coming out there. So that was really, really cool. So I sort of call him the Fresh Prince of Agrabah, right? that's the other thing. It was like one of the first things that I noticed when we sat down to watch the movie, right? Is that I love how they insisted on not pronouncing Agrabah as Agrabah, right? Because when I was watching the animation last night, I noticed that that's how they pronounced it, right? They said Agrabah, but this is, you know, sort of an Eastern movie. So throughout the movie, they never say Agrabah. They always say Agrabah. And that little, I know it was something very small, and maybe a lot of people wouldn't have noticed it, but it was absolutely cool to have heard Agrabah, right? And then something else, oh yes, there was another really cool part, which I thought was really nice that they added it into the movie. I can't remember which scene it was in, right? But Will Smith's genie had pulled up a piece of parchment, and he was talking about the Sultan and the genie, etc. And on this piece of parchment was actually the animated version of Robin Williams' genie and the Sultan, well, from the animation, as I said. It was so cool to see that little nod to the movie as well, which was really, really cool. But yeah, as I said, from watching the animation last night and thinking back to the live action, there were a lot of similarities. There's lots of videos out there for you guys to go and watch. I'll try and see if I can put a link in the description below to one of these videos, but where they do a side-by-side comparison of the movie to the animation. But there were many, many nods. Off the top of my head, Aladdin giving the bread to the kids, right, after he gets it for him and Abu. There was another one, oh, the whole "do you trust me," right? That was there for sure. So yeah, as I said, there were lots of nods to the animation in terms of actual dialogue pulling through from the animation to the movie. So that was really, really cool. And of course there has to be a con list, right? Because I can't just make this a full pro list. There were literally only 3 things, just 3 things that if I had to criticize the movie, that I would criticize it on. So the first, live action Jafar, he was way too nice. I'm just gonna put that out there. He was like, yes, he played the villain, but it was like, okay. Like, you could have been scarier, because when you watch the animation, you were so petrified of Jafar. It's like, ugh, you know? So that's like one of the things. It's not even a huge thing, because he, like, trust me, the actor who does play Jafar, he does an amazing job. But he could have been a little bit scarier. So that was the one thing. The other thing was, there is the specific scene from the animation that I was looking forward to seeing in the movie. They sort of had a nod to it, but they didn't have the whole scene. It's the one where, in the animation, where Aladdin is describing to Genie, you know, she's super smart. By the way, I love that he mentions smart first before talking about her looks. But yeah, so he mentions she's smart and she's gorgeous and she's got this hair that, wow, and this, you know, the smile and her eyes. And I was really waiting for that whole scene. But in the movie, they end up just doing something where Aladdin says to Genie, she's a princess. And then, you know, Genie's all like, oh, what? Aren't they all princesses? So, yeah, I would have really liked to see that scene directly word for word in the movie. The other scene that I was talking about was, and in the animation, right, when Jafar sort of puts Jasmine into the hourglass and then Aladdin breaks her out. But like, retrospectively, when I'm thinking about it, I understand why they didn't put it in the movie, because it was sort of demeaning to Jasmine. And Naomi Scott, as I said, when she was portraying Jasmine, she did say she wanted to empower her, so I can understand why that scene wasn't in it. But I just would have liked to see how they would have actually brought that to life, with, you know, having a huge hourglass and things like that.
No, she shouldn't wait for the boy?
No, she had to go by herself.
Go where by herself?
To see the world.
How are they going to go see the world?
No, Jasmine needs to go see the world by herself. Because Aladdin seats, then Aladdin needs to stay there, and Jasmine can just go by herself.
Really? Yeah, she shouldn't wait for the boy to take her. Yeah. Why?
Because you don't need a boy to take you to see the whole world by with the boy. Cause that's enough space on the carpet. So Jasmine can go by herself, or Aladdin can go by herself.
There's not enough space on the carpet.
Nope.
For both of them.
Yeah.
So remember, sometimes when we read your princess book, the prince will take the princess on the adventure, or he'll save the day, or he'll rescue her. That's a good thing, right?
Mommy,
Yeah, baby.
the princess doesn't need a princess to rescue her. She could rescue herself.
She can rescue herself. Yeah, that is true, baby. But
And then the third and final thing that was wrong with the movie, my personal opinion, was that it was too short. I literally sat there after the movie was done and I'm like, that's it? Can't there be more? So I could have honestly just sat in that seat and just watched it again and again and again. But yeah, so pretty much that's about it. That's my review of Aladdin. If you haven't watched it yet, oh my gosh, get to cinema and watch it now. It was fantastic. I honestly don't mind watching it again and again and again, and I can't wait till it's released on DVD for me to get it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this review, please let me know in the comments below. It was my first time doing a review, so please cut me some slack. I've never ever done this before. And yeah, as I said, leave me a comment in the comment section below as to what you thought of my review. And if you've watched Aladdin already, give me your thoughts on it. What did you like? What didn't you like? Because I mean, to each their own, right? Everybody is different. I might have liked it, maybe you didn't, but yeah, let me know in the comment section below. In the meanwhile though, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and of course don't forget that until next week, your vibe, you know it guys, it attracts your tribe. Bye! Okay, to keep it coming down, I dedicate this to you. Okay. बोलो रानी क्या तुमने मानी अपनी दिल की बात, and I can open your eyes and take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways and under, on a magic carpet ride. सपनों का जहां नहीं, सब कुछ नहीं खुशबू. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say it's only a dream. सपनों का जहां नहीं, सब कुछ नहीं खुशबू. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Thank you.